If you have any questions during any point in time during today, please by all means raise your hand and we'll answer those questions as we go because we want to kind of keep it going in the flow of what we're doing. Everybody good with that?
Yes.
Awesome, thank you. So, really, as we're building this out, we're totally new. We're a 4-year-old company, pretty much, and we're trying to determine what it is that we want to do, how we want to do it, and who's going to be involved. But to me, coming from learning and development, there's some things that we need to do before that. And that's where these 3 core values for building gender learning and development come from. I think what we need to do starting out needs to be foundational, because we are at a foundational area where we need to build a good, strong, firm footing before we start going up with anything that we're doing. We need to have accountability, because nothing is as good as it can be without people being held accountable for what they're supposed to do. And then lastly, it needs to be scalable. And what we mean by scalable is it needs to grow with the organization. We don't want to put in something in place for 5 people that can ultimately end up needing to be for 500. So again, as with everything that you see that comes from learning and development from Jindal, it will fall and have these 3 core values at the bottom of it. You'll notice that some of the things you'll see soon will be very simple, very basic. You'll see things that are really pointing back to where they came from and who's accountable for what needs to take place, and you'll also see that there's room to grow with all of them. So what does that mean to you? Thank you for asking that question. When we look at foundational, there's 3 areas that are built into there. And again, with what it says here at the bottom, all viewed for people development. When you think business intelligence, you might think of something a little bit different than what I'm talking about today. We'll talk a little bit about that in a second. You see leadership acumen here, again, from a people perspective. And then, of course, operational excellence. So with foundational, this is kind of where we're going to start. So a lot of stuff that you're going to see over the next 6 months to a year are going to have a lot of this built into it. So you may hear, anybody been through our performance management process? That's where you get a review. Anywhere in any company that you've ever been at, have you gotten a performance review? How many of you enjoy that process? All right, we are going to call a doctor and get you checked out. But outside of that, it's generally a little bit bumpy, a little bit weird. Ours here is about the same right now, but again, with something like that, that's one of those foundational things that we're looking at. But what my role is in that is once you've gotten that review and you've gotten the results back, what happens then, generally?
Hopefully you get coaching.
Yeah. Hopefully, that's the key word there. Hopefully you get some coaching. No, that's just very true. Generally, nothing happens at that point, but that's where learning and development jumps in. So we're not there to tell you what you need to do or how to do it, but we are there to help you get better. Once we've determined through your departments, that accountability piece, what needs to be done so that you can improve. So as we go through, or as we continue to grow, in this business intelligence thing, you'll see some applications, infrastructure, and tools going in place, different learning management systems. Some of you have dealt with intellects at this point. It's extremely cumbersome and boring. How about if I told you you could go to ADP, looking up your payroll card, click one button, and then here comes all of your training that you need to have for the next 6 months, maybe. That's possible, and we're going to figure out how to do it. Actually, there's some great systems in place that we can do that with that will actually take everything that you do from training, put it right into your performance management, so it's part of all your goals, and it's listed right there. So you don't have to guess what took place, we don't have to wonder what it is that you need to do to get better. It's all right there at your fingertips. So some of those things is what I mean by business intelligence from a people standpoint. We want to be smarter about how we're interacting with one another in our technology to help ourselves out and ultimately save some time. Infrastructure, kind of the same thing. I really nerded out on this at some point, so if you really want to throw your glasses on and park protector, we can make this happen. With this, I've pretty much mapped out what it looks like from leadership all the way down to the individual contributor and how we get to a completely evaluated workforce in the middle. I had nothing to do that weekend. So that's really what it came down to. But it's my pie in the sky worldview of how I think learning and development should work. And we'll talk about that some other time. But that's the infrastructure that we're going to work through. Just making sure that you have all the tools that you need, that you have the classes that you need, that the people around you are knowledgeable to help you get where you need to go. And all of those pieces kind of work together towards getting to knowing exactly what we need to do to grow in our careers and develop as an organization. So, last but not least in this business intelligence, there is the tools piece. And again, it kind of rolls back to that system I was talking about, things of that nature, but also the tangible things that you need on a day-to-day basis to be successful in your job. as I've seen what she has to do with our new contract system. And yeah, you too, Quan. I've sat through that a little bit. It's a little weird. It's a lot of moving pieces in that. But again, the ultimate idea behind that tool is to make it a seamless process so you know where to go to get a contract, what type of contracts you need, keep a repository of where all that stuff is. So pretty much an applicable couple buttons at some point in time in the near future, it'll pull up what you're looking for. It's like free beer tomorrow, right? It's on the wall, and tomorrow never comes. No, but that's the same type of idea with this. Those are those little things that we want to start putting in place to make life easier. We're going to do that in this form and fashion as well. Secondly, leadership acumen, and then of course operational excellence are the pieces that we'll cover in our next session. But I just wanted to give you this brief introduction